Benthic species. All of these species can be found on the Cornish rocky shore. This is split into zones. The first zone, the splash zone, or the supralittoral zone, contains species such as periwinkles and lichen. The next zone are the intertidal or eulittoral zones. Barnacles and limpets are found in the high eulittoral zone, mussels and green algae in the middle eulittoral zone, and brown algae in the lower eulittoral zone. Lastly, the sublittoral zone is home to large brown algae and is the lowest littoral zone. The first species is Patella vulgata, or the common limpet, a common member of the mollusca phylum found in the splash zone and upper intertidal zone. They feed on algae, but can't reach algae on top of their shell, which is why you usually only see seaweed on top of the limpet shell where it can't reach. However, as young, they feed on plankton. All vulgata start off as male, but many change to female later on. These gastropods hold onto the rocks and other hard substrate using a muscular foot-like appendage. They secrete a sticky mucus that creates a seal between their shell and the surface. This stops evaporation at low tide from occurring and drying out their bodies. Mytilus agilis, or mussel, is a bivalve mollusk found in the middle intertidal zone. They are filter feeders, taking in microorganisms and small organic matter. It anchors itself to rocks and other mussels. It does this using byssal threads, which are produced as a liquid but then sets hard in seawater. It keeps its shell closed to stop dehydration at low tide. Laminaria hyperborea, or cuvee, is a brown algae found abundantly in the sublittoral zone. It has a large conical holdfast, which are like the roots of it, with a cylindrical stipe, which is like the stem. They have large brown blades, which are like its leaves. These blades have a brown accessory photosynthetic pigment to maximize light consumption, as it absorbs more light than, for example, green. This is useful because it can grow at depths of below 10 meters. This species differs from Laminaria digitata, aka oarweed, by having a less flexible and almost brittle. Ulvalactuca, or sea lettuce, is an edible green photosynthetic algae found abundantly in the middle and lower intertidal zones. It can grow over the span of entire beaches. It loses its moisture during low tide and becomes crispy, yet still lives to become hydrated once more as the tide returns. If detached from their source, they will not die but float off and are stranded en masse elsewhere. Their decomposition leads to anaerobic conditions due to it providing food for rapidly multiplying bacteria that consumes all the oxygen in the damp sand.